Okay, this is me attempting to fit a Saginaw 2 power steering pump to a Dodge Ram 07 model 5.7. This is the original pump. What I've had to do is basically drill these holes out to 3/8. They don't quite line up on the block, but that makes them very, very close, and with the 3/8 hole through the middle, that'll sort that. The next saga is basically there's a little clearance issue here on a bolt onto the front cover, so I just had to do a little bit of clearancing there. And the next drama is to get the belt to line up. So I've been and talked to my machinist mate today, and he's going to, that's the original pulley off that pump of course, he's going to, there's a very small lip just there, I'm going to get rid of that. That'll gain me about 1mm clearance. We've also, I don't know if you can see or not, there's a little mark there on that pump. What we're going to do is that's about 5mm in there. We're going to get rid of half of that, which will take it to 2.5mm, which will then machine off 2.5mm off the back side of the pump. What will then do is allow that pulley to come back closer towards the engine, which will then, in theory, line everything up with the original serpentine. I guess if I didn't want to muck about with that, I could run a 5-groove polygroove belt and only run it half on the pulley, but I prefer not to do that. If I can do it, that'll look dodgy. So once those are all machined, I'll then, also, yeah, that's another little issue. This is not a clearance fit. The hole's too small in here, so he's going to have to machine that out to basically then be an interference fit onto that shaft, and I'll press that back on. And worst comes to worst, I could get him to machine some of it off this face and take it down a little bit lower, which would then give me more clearance for the pulley down closer, but there's not a lot of I'm not there to play with. I've only really got about 1mm, so, or 1.5mm or something, I think it was. So I'd prefer to just leave that be if we can. So then there'll be a few hosing issues and things like that, but this is what the pump looks like without the reservoir on it. Reservoir on the Ram with the ancillaries on top all fits good. We'll just have a quick look over here to where I'm at. So that'll basically fit down into there. There's a recess in the block where the water pump bolts on, so it doesn't matter if part of the pump actually does stick out the back after we've machined that, because that looking doodah there, that can actually come out past it because there's a recess in the block to take it. So we'll get that stuff done tomorrow or this week anyway, and hopefully should all fit, and then that will mean this pump is from Speedway Motors that has been revalved or whatever they do with it to basically run my Ford rack on my Ford Mustang 2 front end with a Australian Cortina power steering rack in it. So fingers crossed, this will be an update for all you blokes that are wondering what to do with your power steering pumps. It's a little bit of mucking about, but I think at the end of the day it'll look pretty good, and hopefully, according to what I've read in the write-ups, it is valved to actually run that Ford rack without any dramas, so fingers crossed.